Bit of a rant, proper rant this time. So I was scrolling social media a few weeks ago and I saw a radio DJ from the BBC, not our local BBC, I have to stress, but a more national arm of the BBC, saying that if you were going to present your music to the BBC these days, you should really consider making it less than 2 minutes long, because the shows are short and you're much more likely to have your song played if it's under 2 minutes. And I must admit, having just got over the fact that the album might be dead as an art form, the statement that all songs need to be 2 minutes or less did make me quite upset and personally affronted. So why is it so upsetting? Well, because music is a form of art. Can you imagine going up to a painter and saying, I love your painting, it's really great, but actually the gap I've got in my house isn't quite big enough. So if you could just slice out about 2/3 on the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to stick that on my wall. Is that all right? And that painter would quite rightly tell you to get fucked, because what they've put on that canvas and the decisions that they've made about the brush strokes and the composition and everything else has been made very specifically to portray a feeling or a sense of something that they wanted to record. To elect to display only a small portion of that sentiment, because the area in which you plan to show it can only accommodate it, is simply not going to fly. So what happens then? What happens if music is now all 2 minutes or less? And I suppose if we take it a little bit further, if we want our music to be displayed and enjoyed on new media like TikTok, we probably need it to present itself pretty much completely in the first 10 seconds to avoid the person listening simply swiping on to the next interesting video of two cats talking to each other. What does it preclude? What do we lose if that's the way that we're going? And why does it matter? Well, I think we lose a lot. First of all, we lose Bohemian Rhapsody, which is an interesting example because it's much more than 2 minutes long, and the beginning of the song is quite different to the end. And that's amazing. That was absolutely groundbreaking, and it's something that we've seen a lot since then. So are we saying that all songs now just need to present themselves exactly as they are, not surprise anybody by changing in their nature at all, just to make sure that when people stumble upon them on social media, they listen for the fully allotted 18 seconds? Where does that leave us? How many songs have you listened to where at first you thought, I'm curious about this, I don't really understand it, but I'm interested in it? For me, those are the songs that end up changing my life. Because over time, I do properly understand them and I do contextualize them and they grow on me. And music that grows on you is music that makes you grow. So if we acknowledge now that all songs are going to be less than 2 minutes and that they're going to have to proclaim themselves in their first 10 seconds, we lose that aspect of the art form. It no longer challenges us. It no longer encourages us to change our outlook or perspective in order to appreciate it. Instead, it reinforces whatever outlook or perspective we came to the table with and gives us nothing. I think this is a big problem, and I don't think I know what we're going to do about it, but I am worried that there's going to be an entire generation of kids moving forwards who never have the joy of having their perspectives challenged or shifted by a fucking incredible piece of music. It's a worry, eh? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.